I know there would be people who will think that you're saying this because you have worked outside the country, and because of that you've got this kind of attitude that you're looking down upon the Indian aviation or the work culture, discrimination, or the kind of thought they have in their mind for the people who have resigned and come back from Qatar. Hi everyone, my name is Twinkle and welcome back to my channel. In my last video, I've talked about why I left Qatar Airways and you guys loved it. And there was a question that I put up to you guys asking if you would like to see a video on why I don't work in Indian aviation. And there was a lot of positive response. You guys have been texting me. So here I am. This video is going to be all about talking all about why I don't want to work in Indian aviation anymore. So a little disclaimer before I get into the gist of the main video is that it is not that I have something against Indian aviation or their work culture or preferences or something like that. It is something that I've experienced. I'm going to talk about things, put down facts, and whatever I experienced, I'm going to share with you all. Also, not just me, a few of my colleagues also had this kind of experience, and I'm going to exactly share with that with you all. So without wasting any further time, let's get into the video. So after coming back to India, after taking approximately 6 months of a good break, I was thinking that I should start, get back to work. It was a good break for me. So definitely I always had training and getting into a managerial position, looking up to the kind of experience that I have. And as I always say, not just because of the experience, but I also had this kind of ability that I wanted to train people. So my first option, like the thing that I wanted to try, was training. So of course I was looking up for options into training department like safety or service initially, or a managerial position. So when I was looking up for positions, I found out that Vistara and Indigo, both these airlines, because Jet by then was already getting closed, it was not doing so good, and other airlines I don't really prefer. So these were the two ones, they were really doing good, and I wanted to get into associating with them would be a good and better idea. So I of course read about the airlines, and here it was. I had applied through LinkedIn and they got in touch with me for the position of a grooming instructor, something related to grooming. So here I am, that I'm going to share my experience. So soon after, I think within 2 weeks or so, I got a call from Indigo and they wanted to see me, and it was regarding of course the grooming instructor position. So let's see what happened in the interview for the grooming instructor job. So I got a call from this lady, and she wanted to, probably from the HR department, she wanted to kind of take a little telephonic interview to make sure that the person they're trying to contact is kind of fit for the position. So she started asking me a few questions that how long of an experience do you have, though everything was kind of mentioned in my profile, but I was just considering it as a telephonic interview. So the kind of questions they asked me were, tell me something about your family, and how long have you worked, and things like that. I mean, these questions were entry level questions, but I was like, okay, fine, it was pretty easy. And then she's like, yeah, fine, what are your expectations of the salary? The salary, right? It's written. Do you have any questions? I was like, is it going to be the only interview that I have? So not really. So she said, okay, can you come on this particular day at this time? And I will send you the details of the venue and everything. And I was like, fine, okay. So I was expecting a good email that which said a lot of things about the interview, but nonetheless they only had the time and the venue, and they wanted me to prepare a PowerPoint, like a PPT of anything, basically any topic. Probably they wanted to see my presentation skills. I don't know, grooming instructor presentation skills, but I just thought that it's because of the kind of training style. Anyway, so yeah, I made up a PPT. I prepared myself. I did a good job with this. And before going, I always had this habit of confirming, because India and cancellations and postpone and things being changed and altered, the frequency is almost you know what I mean. So yeah, I called them up and this lady, and she's like, yeah, everything is on time. Okay, fine. Yeah, come on time. So I was like, yeah, I'm going to leave now. I was waiting for your confirmation. So I'm going to give you a call now, tomorrow as well. So before leaving, as this place was like quite far from my place, yeah. So I called them up, everything was on time, and I was about to reach. I was constantly in touch with her. The moment I reached there, I get to know is that the person, the concerned person, is not there. Apparently that person is busy. That's what everybody tells me. So I was like, fine. So this lady who's not supposed to take my interview, I don't know who she was, probably part of HR or whatever. Again, same questions. What were you doing? How was it? How was Qatar? Blah, blah, blah. Like normal questions. Not really like an interview, but okay, it was fine. Irrelevant questions basically. How was Qatar Airways? Why did you not want to work anymore? And why this, that, blah, blah, blah. And a little bit of personal questions like, okay, how will you travel? How far is this? How do you plan? So when she asked me if there was any questions from my side, I of course wanted to ask about the transport, about the salary, about so many questions. Of course, I will ask questions. I don't know how people work here because this is going to be my first experience here. I've never worked in India. Of course, I worked in an airline, but not in a corporate like 9 to 5 job. So I wanted to know the timings, how is it going to be? So the only thing she told me that it's going to be on a probation basis, that you're going to be there for 6 months, and if we like you, we confirm you. And she was trying to sell this to me, saying that working on probation is better, you earn a better salary, about 50k, which according to them is a very good salary, 55k, whatever. And because there's going to be no deductions, no tax, no PF, things like that, how the salaries in India work. So she told me that it's going to be a very good deal for you. However, if you get confirmed, you will have deductions and the salary will get reduced. So I already had a question mark. So apparently this was a good salary, and if I get confirmed, which I never knew that it's going to be a temporary position, which they were telling me that this is a temporary position, which I didn't know about. So yeah, a temporary position, and apparently that's how it is for everyone, for every person, every position. So yeah, this was done, and I was told that there's going to be no transport, which was again okay, no transport. Shift work, the shifts will not be not fixed. The shifts will not be fixed, they can be changing, which of course, okay, I'm fine with it. However, you're supposed to report around 8:30, something like that, and you're going to stay around 6, which is a lot of time, plus the traveling time. And you have, if you've got extra work and all that jazz, you stay and you do that. And I guess 2 days were holiday, I don't remember, but yeah, or 1 day, I guess, yeah. So all of this was done, but my interview was still remaining. So I was like, okay, do you want to wait for the person? I waited for the person. Do you want tea, coffee? At least they were good enough to ask tea, coffee, water. So it was fine. We had a good communication. Like I kind of was asking her in a very candid way that, yeah, this is the thing. So I waited for an hour. I waited for another half an hour, and I was checking on it, like checking with people. People were passing by, and I mean, and so was the time, but nobody was really bothered. Yeah. So cutting the story short, it was 2 hours plus. It was evening, and there was no question of the concerned person coming. And I was, me being me, I hate being late. I hate people who are late. I appreciate people when they are before time, because if I've called you before leaving, I've called you, I've been on phone with you, so you have to tell me, right? Okay, 2 hours and then no story, and there are like no sorries or whatever. That was it for me. I was like, a company who is not punctual on day one, if I'm getting irritated with them, there's no proper communication of where and who is supposed to take my interview, and if I am a number one who is supposed to be here, they're calling somebody else. So it was quite, it just got on my nerves. I couldn't take it. So that was the thing that I was like, fine, their things are not okay to me anyway. However, if I was there, I wanted to give an interview, like one-on-one. I wanted to talk to them how it works, and I will get to know the HR or manager, whoever it is, about them more. And I wanted to, experience an interview here in India at this point, but unfortunately the person was missing and so was the information. So I went up to the person and I was like, listen, I cannot wait anymore, and it would have been amazing if I could have an interview with you people, but unfortunately I couldn't. So I'm sorry, but I will not be interested to work with you people. And that was fine, and I walked off. So now this is me, like things which I didn't like about them was, for me, it is missing professionalism. I mean, if you're missing professionalism at this level, think about the kind of professionalism you have at an entry level or for people who are just starting. If you treat the person who's coming here for a trainer or a managerial job, this is your treatment to a person like this, and you're the person. For me, I don't know how it works here, but for me it doesn't work this way. I wouldn't want to be associated with a company who on the very first day has already irritated me to this level. I wouldn't take it. Apart from the experience, the pay was really less. The working hours is way too much. Like you report like 8:30 and you be there until 6, and the shift is not fixed. The working hours are not fixed. You have no transport, and the job is not fixed. It's a probation of 6 months and you're not confirmed. Yeah. And the professionalism was really lacking. Punctuality is not there. And of course, I could just see people gossiping, and because I observe a lot, and the kind of people that I was seeing here, they were busy giggling and all that jazz. So also, the kind of environment I didn't really get, the vibe was not matching. So it was a no for me already. Coming on to the next experience, this is me. That was not the only experience that I had. I wanted to give myself another opportunity that maybe I was getting, too, how do you say, too detail oriented? I don't think so, but from aviation, at least this is the thing that I expect. So here comes another, Vistara. So I applied for the base manager job, like a trainer there, I guess, executive position, cabin crew executive, something like that. So it is, I guess, a position less than the base manager, assistant base manager position. Like they will be taking care of everything which is related to crew. So you're kind of the manager, or who your crew and the other departments reports to. Yeah, so I hope it's kind of clear. It's a position, executive position, everything related to crew profiles, their trainings, all these things will be conducted and controlled. The performance will be under you, so you will be taking care of that. So it's a managerial officer's job as per me, and the kind of the responsibilities and duties that I read, this was the things that was mentioned. So, and of course I've seen this worked with managers very closely. Back in Qatar, we know what their job is, and as CS and CSTs, you do a lot of work. There's a kind of difference when you fly in India, the kind of leadership responsibilities you have and the kind of leadership responsibilities you have there. There is a different role that you have in India that's called check crew. So the supervisor positions in Qatar is a mix of check crew, lead crew, and also a little bit of managerial work. Yeah, so it's a combination of everything. So you kind of know what you're doing. Anyway, coming back to this position, again, I got a call for this and I was called to visit Vistara. So again, I checked with them, are the timings the same story, everything is on time. Guess what? Is it me who's jinxed, or this is the way Indian aviation works? I am there on time, and first of all, I've been asked to wait at the reception. I'm not even in the office. I have waited at the reception knowing I don't even know what's happened for half an hour. After that, somebody tells me to come and sit down in a cabin. I don't know who that person is. There's no salutation. Aviation, customer service, no salutations. So they don't know who are you. I don't know who are they. They don't know who am I. So nothing of that sorts. Forget tea, coffee, water. There's nothing of this as well. So somebody asked me to come and sit here and wait. We will take some time to come to you. Okay, so I'm sitting there, and there's this cabin is like, do you know the aircraft lavatory? just a little bit bigger. I don't know how we three were even sitting accommodated in that area. Like it's a one-on-one table, this short table, and there's another gentleman sitting next to us. So yeah, I waited there for 30 minutes. I'm on phone, I'm waiting, I'm looking at my things. I'm actually getting irritated. 45 minutes later, 30 minutes later, a gentleman arrives, and then he's asking me, okay, so you're here for the interview, okay, what are your expectations, blah blah blah. And then he's like, we'll wait for the person to come, and then we're looking at each other's face, and then he leaves because the lady apparently is supposed to take my interview is not there yet. So 45 minutes later, the lady comes in again, no sorry, no apologies, and like, yeah, let's start, blah, 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 and let's start. Okay, I was like, fine, then we'll start. And the first question again, okay, tell me something about yourself, their favorite question, huh? And then you're like, okay, I told something about myself. But the next question that comes from them is, okay, tell me something about your family. I don't know why they're so bothered to know about my family. Okay, so what does your father do, your mother do, brother, sister, everything in detail. This was the questions they were asking me. Okay, are you married? I don't know why they need to ask me about my marriage. Me being married or not married, how is it going to help you? This was the question that I wanted to really ask them, but I was like, okay, Twinkle, control yourself. So, are you married? Okay, what is your age? When are you trying to plan? When are you planning to get married? Why did you resign? So they're trying to link. Why did you resign? Okay, why did you come back to your family? Did they need you? No, nobody is dying, but then I want to come back. And okay, so there was a break. Okay, and I was not really able to understand what are they trying to ask me apart from the things that they should be asking me regarding the job profile and the questions. Okay, ask me about the training, man. Ask me about the stuff which I'm going to do. So apart from that, also I want to tell you guys that the position that I applied for was actually like the requirements were 5 to 6 years of experience, something like that. And for the base manager, which is the higher level position, like assistant base manager, was 6 to 8 years something. And I was actually much overqualified according to whatever they were asking. So I was kind of overqualified, and I was applying for a job because that was the kind. So when I was speaking to this lady on phone, I actually told her that I wasn't interested in this job because if you look at it, this job requires 4+ years of experience, and I'm quite overqualified for this. So what I want to apply for is an ABM position or a base manager, whatever position. I'm more interested in that. And that was the question that I told this lady as well. I don't know how they took it. Why am I telling you this? Was because I do my research about the company and the HR as well. So when I wrapped this up, I also checked about this lady, and you guys will be surprised to know that this one has got no experience in aviation. She had a few years of experience in BPOs, different BPOs, and just about a little experience in the company, I guess 3-something years in Vistara. So that was really shocking for me. It's like somebody is not even from the industry is taking an interview for such a position, and then I could rewind, and then I was exactly able to understand that why the questions were, tell me about your family and marriage and stuff like that, because this is not the kind of questions you ask. I mean, how is it even gonna help you? This is not an entry-level question. Ask me about the job. I mean, let me tell you this as well. A lot of my colleagues have went for different positions. When I spoke to them later on, I got to know there's a kind of discrimination or the kind of thought they have in their mind for the people who have resigned and come back from Qatar, or they either get intimidated, I don't know, or they treat them a little different because they have this kind of negative feeling, probably. I don't want to call it jealousy or whatever, but yeah, there's this kind of thing in their mind that they treat you very indifferently. So yeah, when she was asking me, okay, so what and how was it to work with them, and what were your responsibilities, and what kind of training and coaching experience do you have, and we told them that we have an elaborated experience of training, coaching in flight one-on-one, we do assessments, we coach, we do take trainings, we attend trainings. So I know what am I talking about. And if you want, you can right away ask me to take a training and I will take it right now, like on spot. I mean, this was not the way that I was trying to be overconfident, but I was really nicely talking to them. But somehow I did not find the vibe of the interview for me. I already understood that I don't care if I make it or not. I don't think I want to work with these people, because as and when this flow got over and she was like, do you have any questions for me? And I was like, a lot. Tell me about the salary first. So salary, again, peanuts, lesser than what Indigo was offering me. Shift work. So she's telling me, you're not going to be sitting in the office. You have to juggle between the airport, the office, the training centers, the simulators, whatever, and you'll be juggling, and there's no transport. Yeah. So juggling between places, shift work. There's no shift off. Even if you have off and we require you, we will be called on a phone and you're supposed to come and be there, because now you are going to be the manager, so you can't be acting like a crew. So there's no fixed off, there's no off at all basically. Shift work, whenever they want, whenever there's operational requirement, you are required there. There's no salary, peanuts are the salary, and there are over and above all this work, because there's no defined work. So whatever comes your way, you're supposed to do that. Yeah. And I don't know if I'm going to report to her or so, I don't know. So there's no defined work. You do everything basically. You work all the time. You don't have anything fixed. You have salary, which is peanuts, and you have projects over and above your work. You're supposed to do some projects which you will be getting in a week or in a fortnight or something like that. You're supposed to do that also. I was like, okay, and the salary is not negotiable. In fact, on top of it, this gentleman who's sitting next to her, after the thing got done, because this lady was super busy and she left, so this guy's asking me, okay, is there any, I don't know, what are they thinking? A cabin crew would earn better than me. I mean, it's not only about earning, but look at the position, look at the work you're giving me, and then look at the kind of money you offer. So in this place, forget about the vibe, professionalism, and the kind of way they treat you. Salary is super less, zero. So Indigo hires much better salary, offers much better salary, and Vistara was really low on salary. And the kind of work, and of course the working hours are longer, everything, and no transport, and juggling between the work. So considering all of this became a very big no. So after the second experience, when I went back home, I was really put off. That was the one day when I decided, no, Twinkle, I don't want to work with Indian Aviation. Two companies which were supposedly comparatively the best ones here. You've got this kind of experience. This is not for you. Office job was never for you, but when you gave a try, because training and this crew training, being associated and making use of such a good experience that you have was there, but not here anymore. And which is why after that I decided that I would get into training things myself as a freelancer. I would get into YouTube, and I would not want to work. Flying was anyway not there in the charts on the list for me in India any day, but now on, from that day onwards, I made myself strong that I would never work in Indian Aviation, because it is not going to work for me. So that was all about this video. I hope you enjoyed watching this video of mine, and if you did so, do not forget to subscribe to my channel and press the bell notification down there, because you don't want to miss any of my next new videos. On that note, I will see you in my next one. Till then, take care and bye bye.